Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel Super Quick Learn. In this session we will be discussing about RTO and RPO. This session is going to be small but is very important topic, and you will get multiple questions in the exam that will have this term mentioned. RTO stands for recovery time objective and RPO stands for recovery point objective. These are two very important factors to consider when you are designing your disaster recovery solution. From AWS perspective, especially from the certification perspective, you have to understand these terms, as there might be questions where RTO and RPO will be mentioned and some option will be using the services that can provide the expected RTO and RPO. So you should understand what is RTO and RPO. Now let's first discuss what is RTO and RPO. Now let's first talk about RTO, that is recovery time objective. RTO is the duration of time that you specify for your application, by when you will be able to recover your application from disaster. Different applications or implementation can have different RTO depending on the business criticality of that application and how important is the business continuity for that application and impact of downtime for the application. Example, consider some airline website is there where customers search for the flights, book reservations, do check-ins, and perform various other operations related to their reservations. In that case, expected RTO should be minimum. So the disaster recovery solution for such a website should be designed in a way to minimize the RTO. On the other hand, if there is some website that provides, example, real-time weather information, then that application is not that critical and it can have a fair amount of RTO. Now let's talk about RPO, that is recovery point objective. So RPO is another important concept that is important to consider when you are planning your disaster recovery plan. This is the duration of time that you can afford to lose data for your application or system or company during a disaster event. As RTO varies based on the criticality of the application, RPO also varies based on the criticality of the data that your application store or use. So according to your requirement, you have to set the RPO for your application. Or at times when you are developing a solution, your CTO, the Chief Technical Officer, or some of your business person provide you the RTO and RPO. Considering that RTO and RPO, you have to develop the solution. Now we'll consider an example and see how we calculate an RTO and RPO. So consider this is your application which is running fine. And at 6 AM in the morning, you have taken a backup of the data. Somehow, due to any reasons, at 10 AM, your application or your system has broke. And it took time till 2 PM on the same day to recover from the disaster. So you had an application, you took the backup, then the service goes down, and then it came back up. So if we talk about the RTO, recovery time objective, so as per the definition, at 10 AM when your service gone down and at 2 PM when your service came up, this is the time during which your service was not available. So the recovery time objective for this scenario is 4 hours. So in this case we are calculating the time taken, but sometimes the recovery time objective will be 8 hours, but you might be able to recover before that. So RTO will be the maximum of the time duration that you can sustain a failure. And recovery point objective will be between 6 AM to 10 AM because you have taken the backup at 6 AM and your data or your system broke at 10 AM. So you will be able to recover from the backup which is taken at 6 AM. So you lose data for 4 hours, which was there but which is lost due to the disaster. So this is how you calculate a RTO and RPO. Now let's talk about some example from AWS perspective. Say if your RTO is 30 minutes for restoring data from your backup. In that case, you can't select Glacier as a storage option. Keeping such things in mind are necessary when you are writing the exam. You might get some questions that have RTO and RPO mentioned in the question and few options that have some services that cannot provide that RTO and RPO. Another example is RDS database, where we have the option of automatic backup and you can also schedule manual backup depending on the criticality of the data and RPO required for your data. Say if you are backing up data every 30 minutes, then your RPO will be 30 minutes for your data recovery. So here a discussion about RTO and RPO ends. I hope this will help you with your certification journey. If you think this video helped you with RTO and RPO understanding, then please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more such videos for AWS certifications preparation. If you have any feedback or looking forward for covering any other topic, please comment and I will prepare the video on that topic. Thanks for watching. Bye.